Khubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Ka Sorkar Jela Lingba Katanat Department of Information and Public Relation kala penlong ya kejing kendu jong ki Nongthoh Khubor ni ka Meghalaya Media Meet kabaningkong hagajela mendak sngi ka arpau tarik nailur hajar pesau Havivanta Hotel Shillong halor ka phang redefining journalism in the digital age hakan ga sngi lapen ko Burom ru ya handrungut ki Nongthoh Khubor na po kajela ki bala khamslam hakam ya ki bala le adu menteri rangba kajela u Conrad sangma u balong ru kum u kongsan hakan ga sngi haba ajing kran hakan ga sngi na kalyang u menteri rangba kajela ula banjur halor kajingran kam ban ajing hikai bat ban penlong ya ki program ya phaliu jingmut nak benta ki Nongthoh Khubor jong kajela usangma ula ongru ba kajing shanya kalong ka benta ka ba kongsan tam kum ki Nongthoh Khubor kabaki dei ban penne haba bathai ki Khubor ba shisha shaki pai ba shu na kalyang u Conrad sangma ula pen penaru ban ai marshilak tingka shaki Nongthoh Khubor ki bala khamslam hakakam ki bala Shah Pynkup Burom na Chief Minister Special Grant na kalyang ka menteri badai pet ya katanat Information and Public Relation ka Dr. Maisel Amperin Lingdo kalau ong badan kam bantip kumno ban penan kam ya ki rensan social media da ka bakaran ru halor ke jingdan kam ya ki Nongthoh Khubor ki badang sedang bantip syapang karukam trikam jom ka kam Thok Khubor badru hashwa ban pathai shaki pai ba
The book Rivers Beyond Borders, published by IUCN and are currently associated with visual documentation projects on climate change and other related topics. Thank you.
In recognition of the good coverage, the work, the contribution that they engage in. I must thank Mr. Vijay Kumar, who after his coming has made several changes in going about and planning how can we help media personnel in the state of Meghalaya. I must thank Mr. M.S. Nongthoh, the Director of Information and Public Relations, for his kind presence and also for his willingness to sit and brainstorm as to what are the things that we can likely do to better lives of journalists in this day and age. Today, we are very grateful to all the panelists who will be here to guide the various discussions that are slated. Amongst some of these discussions is the most important of discussions, and that is how do we handle fake news and information. Government is torn between the fundamental right and the principle and rights and responsibilities of citizens when they have to talk or utilize their fairness in serving information or giving opinions on certain matters. I hope that today when you do discuss this particular topic, you will lend valuable lessons to the government so that we may know what would be the best way of addressing this problem in this day and age. Social media impact is again a very important concern for us. We know that platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are reaching citizens across at a fast rate, and information is being shared not just locally but also globally. We have to get behind what are the best practices and how best can we control or even guide usage of the social media impact. I also was very happy to see that ethic considerations is one of the topic that you will be discussing. I feel that ethical responsibility is something beyond any constitutional provision. But how do you police ethical considerations? I believe that the media of this new generation will have to be ensured, we have to ensure that these young journalists conform to some ethical consideration so that we may have a media which is palatable, a media which is acceptable, and a media which will now no longer be so judgmental on one's or from one's own private mobile. Citizen journalism. This is again a very important topic for discussion. How far do we allow citizens to discuss issues of public importance? And what should be the response of the government thereof? Artificial intelligence. I was shocked just day before yesterday. Somebody sent me a message on my WhatsApp saying, "Ma'am, you've been sending me these messages time and again in the last 3 days. I wonder whether it's really you." That is the danger of artificial intelligence. People can actually create images that are 100% like you. Question is, who believes whom? What is factual and what is a fraction of one's imagination? I believe that media is a strong tool, and all of us are and will always be able to benefit from the use of media. Having taught in the media department for so many years, having acquired a specialized education in the field of media education, I feel privileged that I was guided by faculty, by colleagues who gave us a strong foundation on how can we use the tool of the media to help community rather than to condemn or to mimic or to make fun of someone in the community. I must say that all of these recipients of today's award are very, very deserving. I know each and every one of you almost personally. This is just a small gesture from our part.
Sat down together to decide on reforms, on recognition, and ways in which we could improve the overall media sector, I should say. We realize that the government, and I don't mean to judge any government, but the government in general has not done enough to recognize the contributions that have been made by our journalists, whether senior or the current fraternity of our young journalists. And that is where we felt the need to have, number one, programs like these, where we felicitate our journalists. We recognize the contributions and the work that they have done, the sacrifices they've made, the challenges they've overcome. And while we do that, we also interact and connect with our fraternity of journalists to be able to then figure out how we can move forward in the larger interest of the media fraternity and the media sector, and to ensure that the entire sector thrives, follows a certain code, is able to improve itself in terms of the given circumstances, in the technological changes that we are seeing, that we disagree. So that's fine. That's how healthy democracy works. And disagreeing with somebody's viewpoint or with somebody's work or somebody's policy is not anything wrong. And I'm sure most of the journalists who have interacted with me or are in touch with me personally, you will realize that for me, every criticism is a positive criticism. This is what I believe. And in fact, whenever I see a news article in any paper, it actually motivates me to resolve that particular problem. So really, you are giving me an opportunity to see the other side of the story. And that's how I take it. And I'm very clear about this, even after 7 years of being the Chief Minister, that every single article and information that is brought in is something that is of a constructive nature, and positives can come out of it, and it is how we look at it and how we deal with it is what is important. And hence, I do want to make it clear that there is no negativity when it comes to at least the way I see things. Of course, there will be, as I said, differences. It's natural, because it is the duty of the media, the press, and everybody, in the press fraternity, to look at aspects which are important from the public interest point of view, and facts that need to come out. Having said that, I think what is very crucial, apart from what you've just said, what is very crucial is, as I said, the recognition part, which I've already dealt on. But I just want to also add to this, which I've just shared with our Commissioner Secretary also, that of course the felicitation was given by the department. I thank the Honourable Minister for taking the lead in it. But I also would like to give a small contribution from the Chief Minister's office. So I would like to announce that every single senior journalist who has been felicitated today from my Chief Minister's special grant, I will be giving an amount of 1 lakh rupees to each of the senior journalists who are felicitated today from the Chief Minister's special grant. Apart from that, as I said, what is the larger goal? I think it's important for us to see that. And really the larger goal is to see how we are able to improve things, how we're able to adapt to the given circumstances, how we're able to grow, how we're able to train. A lot of people think that journalism is very simple, and you just have to be able to write something, but it's beyond that. There's so much of training that goes into these aspects. I would be happy to see and be able to push and promote and support different exposures and trainings for our media persons. I think it's important for you to interact with journalists from other parts of the country and really see how everything is moving in the media sector. Because as I said, because of the change in technology, things are moving very, very fast. And therefore, technology is impacting every aspect of our lives, even at a personal level, obviously. So media and the way we consume information is also changing very, very fast. So hence, I think it's very important to have continuous training, continuous exposure and updation of different aspects of journalism, I think, to our press friends. So I would urge the Shillong Press Club as well as our other organizations, you should take the lead. DIPR can take the lead. Even have a simple program for example, even how to shoot. Today we all shoot with the mobile, but we just do it the way we think is right. But how do we do it in a professional way? I think it's important to be able to have the right tools, maybe the right apps, and even the right way to shoot. So I think these are small things, but I feel that this meet should discuss on these aspects also, and I hope that we will have more and more of training and exposure for our journalists and our press fraternity at large. I would also like to touch on a very simple aspect. Today, what's happening is because of technology, the borders or the boundaries, you can say, or the lines between information and opinion and news, those lines are disappearing. So today, an opinion is looked at as news, or information is also becoming news today. But actually, there is, or there was at least, a distinction in how we would look at news and information and opinions that are coming in. I think it's important we train our journalists and the press fraternity in important aspects like these, because at the end of the day, if you ask me, what is the bottom line of everything that we try to do, whether it's politics or whether it's the leadership or whether it's media, I think the word at the end of the day is trust.